That is a big truck. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Walking with J.Beau. Hopefully you have moved your coffee table and you're doing a cartwheel because you're excited that I'm here. Probably not. But anyway, so we had the debate Tuesday night. Today is now Thursday. Dust has settled a little bit. I think everybody pretty much agrees that that wasn't Trump's best performance, and also that that was caused because of the moderators who turned it into a 3-on-1, and they couldn't even fact check Kamala. They tried to pass off the propaganda, the moderators did, I mean, with like crime is statistically low right now under Biden, which is a government agency that is fudging the numbers in favor of Biden because they didn't include the biggest population centers in the country. Los Angeles isn't in there, New York's not in there, and Chicago's not in there. So naturally, if you take those 3 Democrat-led cities out, crime goes down. So that's what they did, because that's what they like to do. They have that corruption in those agencies and leadership, and the Democrats have been extremely emboldened with cheating because they get away with it because they have a media in their pocket. So I wondered why they had those sticks at this pickleball court lined up in 2 rows. Now I know. That's so they can get these trees in 2 rows. They put sticks where they want trees to be planted. So that's going to be kind of nice. That'll look nice. Yeah, that's okay. I'm also trying out a new filming technique today. I have the GoPro on a selfie stick that I am holding in my hand. We'll see if my arms get really tired by the time I'm done. I'm going to be walking about 5.5 miles, somewhere 5.5 to 6 miles, and we'll see what happens. So anyways, we will walk regardless, and I hope all turns out well. So you can see how well the stabilizing works in a GoPro. You can walk and hopefully the picture is barely moving. That does use up a lot of battery though, so if you're going to get a GoPro, or if you already own one, you know fully that you have to have a lot of battery juice for a couple of hours. You need at least 2. So it is a beautiful day today. It's about 75 degrees. The humidity is a little higher. It feels more like a summer day today. As you can see, people are dressed for summer. And she's walking her doggie. She looks like a nice dog. The dog's got her tongue hanging out, having a good time. So we're going to walk on down this way. Might see a few trees change a little bit more in color than we have previously. Perhaps. I see one up ahead here where part of the tree is starting to change orange and yellow. And we definitely have more humidity in the air today. It's not so dry. Feels more like a late June day today, actually, which is usually 75 to 80 degrees here. So also, I'm using this film technique because it'll be easier to do a selfie view, where basically I just have to flip the stick around and extend the pole because it's telescoping. So but as you can see, we have a tree up here thinking about turning. It has started. Look at that. So the official debate fallout, poll-wise, before I mention anything, it's one of those things where there's different aspects, okay, in this election this year that are different for other years. The main one being, okay, is Pennsylvania. Okay, I've talked about that a lot with Pennsylvania. Is that's going to be pretty much the whole ball of wax for Kamala. It's Pennsylvania, and there's a lot of undecided independent voters in Pennsylvania. A lot of Pennsylvania is either red or independent, and then you get into the more populated areas, and that is a blue cities. No surprise there. That's usually where the way that is across the country. So we get some people that have spooks hanging out of their trees. Halloween is coming. Yes, it's still early. I get it. You people that live down south, if you're watching, it's still hot there. Still feels like summer, but it does not feel like summer here. So people are getting into the Halloween spirit early, and today does feel like a summer day, but you know, compared to you guys, it probably feels like spring down south, because it's 75 degrees today, 76. It feels like 80. But anyway, I am holding you down lower than usual, right in front of my chest. And this selfie stick barely weighs anything, and the phone doesn't, not the phone, but the GoPro doesn't weigh very much. And this is a GoPro Hero 9 Black. It's not the big budget GoPro, but it's a little GoPro that goes. Does not have very good nighttime capability, even though I do have some night video, but you can't really use much for stabilization, and you have to mount the camera in a place where it's not going to move around while you walk, which is challenging. But I did manage to get half decent videos at night. Here's a Trump, Make America Great again. And so we got Trump signs around in this neighborhood, a few neighborhoods over that way, and we saw Harris signs on the lawns. So everybody's like living in their own hood, you know. And Maine is a purple state. I know if you listen to the media and you look at social media, you've seen all these crazy progressive things Maine's been trying to do, which is true. But they haven't been able to pass all this stuff free nilly-willy, despite having the full legislature of Democrats, full Senate of Democrats, and a Democrat governor, because the people don't want it. Even the Democrats here. Only the young radical ones want it. which eventually these young people are going to be older voters and all the old people are going to die off. So I fully anticipate Maine going crazy like Massachusetts and Connecticut and Maryland within the next 20 years. So I'm 56. 20 years from now I'll be 76. I hope to live to be 86 anyway. And hopefully I never see this state go that crazy. So regardless, now in the news you have seen the trans trafficking bill, as I call it, which is a bill the Democrats passed to protect trans children that are running away from other states where it's illegal to transition your child. My representative here actually lives 2 houses over this way. We'll be walking right by his house. Voted against it. He's a Democrat. He does not believe in this transgender lunacy as a Democrat. He voted against it, but it passed anyway. But it didn't pass when they tried to the first time. The only way they could get it passed was to tag abortion into it. Abortion is a big issue with women here, and that's just the truth of it. I can fully see why Trump is compromising on that to win. He should not be held against him for that. He can do more as president than he can if he loses being president for abortion. You understand what I'm saying? So there has to be compromise in a democracy. And I know there's a religious viewpoint on that where it should be no matter what, God, this and that, it's murder. I get it, okay? But how are you going to save kids if you lose an election? Now you're going to have boys in women's locker rooms. None of that's going to be fixed. So you still have a lot of women that absolutely hate Trump, but they also hate having trans people in their daughter's locker room, but they refuse to give up their hatred for Trump, and they're being selfish with it. Now, hopefully, between now and the election, some common sense sinks in and they say, you know what? I can't support, my kid's sports team being ruined and my kid getting injured at school because she got elbowed playing soccer or whatever by a male who claims to be a female. So the other thing with that is you have Kamala, who is giving out this fake false vibe of being a moderate. That's the same trick Biden pulled. And I think people have caught on to it. I also think that people have caught on to the media being in the tank for the Democrats. So the media is having less influence than they used to. So now I'm going to get to the post-debate polling. Pretty much all of the post-debate polling, Kamala's gained anywhere from 2 to 5 points after the debate. But 1 to 5 points. The problem is, it's the usual polling companies that always cheat ridiculously. Morning Consult, Ipsos. So I'm going to wait a few days for the real polling, but giving Kamala just 1 point means it didn't change. Nothing changed. So, and why is that important? Because the debate was for independence. That's why they had it in Pennsylvania. As we look at this guy's garden, which looks awesome. There was a lot more stuff growing. He plucked them all. But he's got some cherry tomatoes and regular tomatoes. Pretty cool. And so what I'm getting at is, if you go back to previous debates, Trump won the debate against Biden by about the same amount Kamala won this debate against Trump. But it's not the same thing. If Biden were fit and healthy, it would have been, okay, well, we had a bad night, we'll get him next time. It's not an election loss. The Democrats, however, panicked because they know Biden's health is the issue. So, excuse me, Biden was unfit for office, is what he showed in that debate. So that's different. That's not the same as having a bad debate, if you follow my meaning. So they chased him out and got rid of him. Now, I'm not going to rehash all the stuff I was right about with Kamala, but I'll just touch on it real quick. If you missed those conversations, I said Kamala has never lost an election she's been in, and she doesn't get enough credit as a debater, because all we see is clips of her saying stupid things and cackling, which she does. But she has been underestimated before, and she decimated her opponents because they took her lightly, because she was a cackling female and looks like somebody you can't take seriously. So the Kamala I thought would show up, and I said Trump shouldn't underestimate her, is the one that I said would probably show up, and Trump underestimated her. So, and I know Trump is he's on Truth Social, and when he's doing interviews, he's claiming that he won the debate. He didn't win that debate, okay? We have to be honest about that. It was not his best performance. But that being said, it's because they ganged up on him. And, you know, you got to deal on 3 fronts at one time. He couldn't get all of his points across, but he got a lot of policy out. And I guess what really resonated with independent voters was his closing statement. He got a chance to speak uninterrupted and without any interference from the moderators. And from the polling I've seen among independents, that really made a big difference. And you're going to see the 1 point that Kamala gained is going to be short-lived. It's going to go back to where it was, and Trump's actually going to go ahead a point, maybe even 2. And it's going to be because of independents. The polling is going to show that in another week, I think. Maybe 2. But just to put that in perspective, Trump lost the debate to Hillary 63-27, I think. Something like that. They had a percentage, I wasn't sure who won, but the majority said Hillary won that, and Hillary was leading the election by 9 points at that time. So, you know, a lot of this stuff really doesn't mean a whole lot. It was an opportunity. What people remember is what was discussed, what happened at the debate. Trump got his points out. While he wasn't being forced to defend himself. he did get his points out, and Kamala did not. That's the important thing to remember. So, when Trump won the debate against Biden, Trump's numbers went up a lot. And they're not going up like that with Kamala. So, that's the good news. The other good news is, like I said, Barack Obama lost the debate against Romney. He was very ill prepared for that. He came in being arrogant because everybody told him how great he was, and he got shellacked. And he ended up winning the election, obviously, because he was better prepared for the next one. So ABC definitely screwed over Trump. He knew he was going into enemy territory. And I really think Trump should have just not done a debate. I really do. He needs to stop playing their game, you know? If he does any debate in the future, it should be on Fox News. And it should be with moderators who aren't people like Brett Baier and McCallum, who don't like Trump. Paul Ryan on Fox News is on the board and he hates Trump. So, if I were Trump, I would say I'll do a debate on Fox News with these moderators. Hannity, Laura Ingraham, somebody like that. I'm not doing one with the establishment people that hate me. I'm not getting a fair deal. And allow Kamala to say, no, I'm not doing that, and let her not do one. That's what I would do. Because Trump does interviews with the media. He talks to people. People know who Trump is. They know what he's about. And the other thing people forgot about this debate, and it's very important, Trump's been president before. And when he's president before, he had a pandemic to deal with, and the economy was doing great. That's not even argued by anybody, unless you're MSNBC and people spewing propaganda. You know, the people know, okay? So that's the important thing to remember about that. He has a resume. The American public has shown in polling they're not buying the January 6th insurrection gaslighting. So everything the Democrats have right now besides abortion is something that mainly appeals to people that are already going to vote for Kamala. So, you know. So anyway, one of the things that happened in the debate, which really irritated me, was David Muir of ABC asked Kamala about her stance on gun control because she had mentioned getting rid of people's guns. And she goes, no. Tim Walz and myself, we own firearms. We're not taking anybody's guns away. This is ridiculous. Even though, not but 2 weeks ago, she's on video saying that she's in favor of mandatory buybacks for guns. She would sign that as an executive order or sign it into law as president. So she gives her answer. What does David Muir do? Okay, thank you, Vice President. Now, Mr. Trump starts asking him a different question. It's like, there was no fact checking. There was no, well, respectfully, Vice President, you are on video stating that you would support a mandatory gun buyback. Please explain that for the audience. So, that's the debate we should have had, and we didn't get it. Also, the bias in the questions themselves every question asked Trump was basically, we know you're guilty of this. How do you feel about that? They were all accusatory. So a lot of them were, especially the J6 one. And, you know, it was just unfair. He got piled on. He should have known that would happen. But that being said, like I said, they did their best. Kamala scored points with her voting base because she threw rocks at Trump all night and landed a few. And Trump was on defense all night. So somebody put the big racist fat man in his place finally, and it was a black tiny woman that did it. Blah blah blah. So they're enjoying themselves, but it was a failure for Kamala because she didn't get her policies across. That was the whole point of that debate in Pennsylvania. The focus groups for the debate by several networks were undecided independent voters. Many of those voters broke off and said, we're going to be voting for Trump. And many of them were still undecided on Kamala. They didn't get what they needed from Kamala in that debate. The people that were undecided picked Trump. So that's all I'm saying. And they cited the fact that he used to be president and the economy was good, and they didn't like Kamala's answers on the economy. One of them even said a glaring truth. Kamala's very first question was on the economy, and she dodged answering it. I still can't even believe she made that big of a mistake. I think she was pretty nervous, and she didn't answer the question. So that was a big question. That's the number one topic among voters, okay? That's the number one thing important to people is the economy. And she didn't answer it because she's going to have to say, well, Joe Biden's economy, but she can't own her own crap because she doesn't have any. And I think voters that are independents are sniffing that out. And that's why we're going to see the polls change. Because I had read that they copied and pasted Biden's policies onto Kamala's website. And I think some analyst who is a computer specialist analyzed the copy and paste data and said it was literally taken from Biden's website. So they just changed a few words in it after they pasted it. And I think that's really hilarious. So that came out also. These people are ridiculous, okay? I have no understanding why people are where they are I mean, apparently people hate Trump that much because that's the only way I can explain it. When you hate somebody more than paying your rent or being able to eat or fix your cars or take a vacation this year that you had wished you could, you're maxing out your credit cards. I mean, I just don't understand it. And I think the closer we get to election day, people are going to understand that more. Right now, it's not like the election's not here yet, so they're not really focused on that yet. They're focused on hating Trump or hating Kamala, or as the election gets closer, as they say, elections get tighter. And I think what's going to happen is, because the election's pretty close right now, I think when it gets tighter, it means Kamala's line is going to dip underneath Trump's line. They're going to cross. They're going to do one of those things, you know what I mean? And that's just my personal opinion. I'm certainly no expert in any of this. I'm just a voter like you are. But I pay attention. I see what's going on. It's not very hard to see. So, with that, I'm going to flip this around. Hi, everybody. J.Beau here. Welcome to Walking with J.Beau. Hope you're enjoying your day today. And we're going to walk, we're going to talk, and we're going to have a good time. So hopefully you're enjoying some of my banter about the election and voting and Kamala Harris. And as you can see, we're on a backcountry road, just like the song, Country Road, Take Me Home. Anyway, this is going to take me home eventually, but not before we get our miles in. So I'm going to watch for traffic. So we definitely do have a crazy election, but those are the key things to remember, okay? Trump's not out here now proving himself. He's already been president, and for all argument and accounts, he was successful at that. He had a pandemic, and he had the impeachments and things like that that the country still hasn't really bought, and they're not going to. That was all just stuff the Democrats decided to do to hinder Trump's campaign and hinder his presidency, which technically, if you want to analyze it, is kind of traitorous, really. I don't want to use the word insurrection, but it's what they did was really terrible. And they usurped the democracy by weaponizing rules that Congress had for impeachments. One of them, they just went ahead and impeached him without a trial. Now, what the hell's up with that? So, anyway, I would love nothing more than to see Trump go back in the White House and raise some hell. Well, that would be something wonderful. And there's still a lot of stuff that's going to happen. I've talked about it before. Let's say Trump wins. We're still going to have his sentencing coming up before he's sworn in. That'll be interesting. He's going to have stuff on appeal after the sentencing. So it's going to come down to, okay, he won the election. It's no longer election interference. That's how they're going to look at it. Go ahead and sentence him to jail. That's what they're going to do. I've maintained that already. I realize they are a couple of misdemeanors bumped up to a felony, kind of a conspiracy charge of sorts, but they don't care about that. Gotta get Trump. We gotta get Trump. Who cares about democracy? Who cares if we destroy our justice system? And so basically, the word I was looking for with the Democrats was sedition. Seditious activity. We are undermining your government for political gain. So we got that to deal with. And make no mistake, he is going to get sentenced to jail, okay? But what I'm waiting to see is if they're going to let him pay the bail bond so he can be out on appeal and then be sworn in as president. Because if he wins the election, they're going to be under pressure to, how do you explain to America on a case that they know is going to get turned over on appeal, which they do, they know that. The whole point of it was to prevent him from being elected, to discredit him with voters, and it didn't work. So it may have worked by maybe 3 or 4 points in polling, maybe. It's really difficult to tell. I haven't seen any polls that said if Trump hadn't been convicted, would you still be voting for him? Anyway, I haven't seen any polls like that. Maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there is something to that. I don't know. But I do know, as you can see, this is a beautiful day today on a country road. And it's a perfect day, actually. Hope you enjoyed my walk yesterday. Today is September 12th, 2024. And yes, I do feel very comfortable talking to people on camera or on a microphone. For you that are new to watching my videos, I did do radio for a long time on the FM dial, and I have that low voice for that. It's a radio voice. So anyway, so I do feel comfortable, and I don't use a lot of ums and ahs and It's one of those things where you have to train yourself to slow down. Like right now, there's a pause. You don't have to keep talking and talking. The ums and ahs come when you're trying to give yourself time to think of what you're going to say next. So instead of doing that, just slow yourself down. So anyways, that's my tip to you, non-professional as it may be. But that's what we got. So I can hear a car coming behind me. It's actually coming towards me. So that's the reason why I don't listen to music when I walk. So I can hear what's going on or coming or going. Now I do have a Bluetooth in my ear because I have my cell phone in my pocket. And I have my walking app on, recording my walk. Crickets are loud today. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going in this election. I wish Trump would get a bigger lead, though. I'm still waiting for that. But the good news is Kamala now is getting pressured by her own media and Democrats to do more interviews and to talk. And the problem is the campaign knows that she's not likable when she does that. As evidenced by what independents didn't like about Kamala in that debate, where she was doing that condescending, arrogant face, looking at Trump with that smirky, fake, phony smile, that condescending woman face that men hate. And I'm not saying that in a way to be sexist. I'm saying that in a way that she's trying to win the independent male voter. She already has the women vote, okay? Not all women, but you know what I mean. She's at the level she needs to be for female voters. She's not with men. Men don't like her. And it's not because, you know, they don't like her because she's a strong woman and she's a woman of color. It's got nothing to do with that. It has to do with how she carries herself, her tone, and her arrogance. She's condescending. Every conversation she has that arrogant air about her. So men don't like that. Men don't like ditzy dumb bunnies either. Okay, so this isn't a sex thing. It's got nothing to do with that. Kamala is somebody that would be a bad date. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So men don't like her. A lot of black men don't like her. Black women love her, okay? Because she's a lot like they are. Condescending, and you know, I'm not being racist or anything. That's just the way they are, you know. A lot of white women are kind of bitchy, and black women are more condescending and arrogant, like, you better do my stuff for me, that kind of thing. And that's the air that Kamala gives off. It's kind of like an arrogance. But, you know, black men are wicked cool. Most of them are wicked cool, okay? I know there's a lot of videos online of black people doing dumb things, but that doesn't represent black people. It's that age group in that neighborhood with lack of parenting, growing up. And you see the same thing with white people in white areas. There's a lot of white drug addicts in Maine. There's a lot of crime, like breaking into places. Maine's predominantly white. So what I'm saying is the color of the demographic isn't really what dictates what causes that. So anyway, we're in a day and age right now where you got to be careful of everything you say, because you get flagged as being racist. You know, a perfect example. If I say something, you know, like, I don't like transgender ideology. I think it's poisoning society. It's ruining women's sports. And nobody wants naked men in the girls' locker room in high school. And you don't want your child to get a broken jaw, your daughter, by some guy playing on the soccer team. All right, well, that sounds transphobic, that sounds bad, but when you put it in the context of, I like transsexuals because they're normal people, but transgender people belong to an ideology cult that is neo-Marxist and damaging our society by forcing you to comply with whatever they want you to do, or else you're called a racist or a bigot. You see the difference? So I don't mind anybody for what they are or what they do. This is America. Live and let live. Just don't shove it on me. So, and these days when you say that, you get branded as a bigot or racist. And right now, you see on my palm, I still have that blood blister. You know how that happened? That happened because I had a 1911 and I was racking it like this, and the bolt against the slide pinched my skin in there. So that didn't feel good. But that'll happen, right? So anyway, I just wanted to flip this to selfie so I could say hi, thank you for walking with me. And now I'm really starting to sweat now. My face is getting wet. And I think I will flip this back around. So anyways, hope you're enjoying the walk today. I am. So quiet out here. That's why I like it. So we got a whole bunch of acorns, nature's food for deer and squirrels and everything else skittering around in the woods. A lot of woods here. Now this is the kind of road at night where you would need your own light, because there's no street lighting at all. So this would be pitch black. So, you know, it'd be really cool getting some night vision goggles. I don't know how long the power lasts in those to go for a long walk, but that would be interesting, maybe. Because pretty soon the sun's going to be going down. In December, it'll be dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So any walking that I'm going to do is going to have to be during the day before the sun goes down. Oh, look at this car. That sounded nice. Convertible. Muscle car. Nice day for driving one of those, I think. Yep, definitely a warm day today. Crows. Well, if you're in the UK, I believe they call those ravens. Down south, I think you call those magpies or something like that. I'm not sure. Everybody's weird. So the other thing I have quietly noticed with the Kamala campaign, I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but I have noticed that Tim Walz has kind of come out of the spotlight lately because he was getting more press than Kamala. So, isn't that interesting? All everybody was talking about was Tim Walz, tampons in boys' bathrooms, promoting transgenderism, neo-Marxist ideologies, all that stuff that's not popular with the public. And I think their internal polling told them that, and they have stopped discussing it. They have stopped bringing Tim Walz out. I'm surprised that Kamala didn't bring him out with her for the debate, since they did for the CNN interview. So basically, this is where we're at, okay? She had a debate. She threw rocks at Trump all night. 3 weeks before that, she did an interview with CNN that didn't fare well with the public, and her numbers went down because her economic policies sound like communism, because it is. And government should not have price controls on food and other stuff. That's exactly what they do in communist countries. So I have no idea why they even thought about proposing that. That's not a winner politically. Kind of stupid, actually. And her numbers went down because of it. So, excuse me. So we haven't seen Tim Walz lately. Now, the other benefit we got out of the debate the other night is Kamala Harris did not get her policies out except for abortion. I guess that's one of the big ones they wanted to get out, and women will either like what she had to say or not. I thought Trump had a good abortion answer as well, which he did get out. So, but what's going to happen, I think, is from what I'm noticing online anyway, is, and in the press, is everybody's talking about Trump still. Trump this, Trump that. Trump did this on the debate. Trump did that on the debate. Kamala took it to him on this because Trump has done this in the past. So they're still just talking about Trump 24 hours a day. They're not really talking about Kamala. So none of this helps Kamala, because 2 weeks after this debate, nobody's going to remember what she said. They're just going to remember her throwing rocks at Trump. And that's it. That's not going to change an election. I guess is the basic summary of that. So, anyway, in other news, you know, my favorite compression shorts that I like to wear when I walk are now fitting too loose to wear. And I should be happy about that. I haven't gotten on the scale recently, but the last time I did was about a month ago, after not being on a scale for 3 or 4 months. And the scale said I was 227.6. That is the lowest I have been since high school, when I was fit and trim. And I'm definitely fit right now. I don't have much extra weight at all. And I might have lost a couple more pounds because now my compression shorts don't fit. And I have a couple pair of underwear that fit loose now that didn't before. So now a lot of people are like, well, be careful, don't overdo it. Well, I'm not skipping eating. I'm eating every day. I'm not starving. I'm just exercising a lot. So don't worry about it. Like today in the mirror, I could see every single muscle in my legs, and I like that. That's how I want to look. So anyway, I'm coming up on the mid part, a little past mid part of the walk. Actually more like the 3 mile mark, I think. I do like this handheld kind of camera kind of look. It did look good when I played it back. It's not so high up in the air like this. It's more down here on Earth. Because I'm a tall man, so you know I'm well over 6 feet. And when I get the camera on my hat, the camera is up like 6'6" or something. You know, it sticks up there. So this is eye level. This is what I see at eye level. I got the camera right in front of my eyeballs. So if you want to see what the world looks like if you're tall, this is it. I don't have any problems when I go to concerts. Most people I can see over their heads. And often when I go grocery shopping, I'll get asked by old people or women sometimes, "Excuse me, can you get something up on that top shelf for me, please?" "Yes, ma'am, no problem." So excuse me, got a Mustang that going by here. I own a Mustang too. I love Mustangs. And nice neighborhood here. We live about 3 miles away from here in this same neighborhood basically. It's in walking distance, obviously. I've only walked about 2.5, 3 miles. I'm doing a big circle. But it's quiet out here. It's nice. I don't see any wild turkeys today. The other day we had a whole group of turkeys across the road in front of us. Maybe we'll see the llamas up ahead. I never catch them things when they're out. They're either llamas or alpacas. I'm not sure which. I don't even know what the difference is. I never bothered to look. I do know that a lot of people have alpacas because they like to shave them, and they sell alpaca wool. So you can make wool from alpaca hair. Which is interesting. Where are the turkeys? It's a nice little cottage. comes a car. The reason why I like this handheld views better is while I'm walking, I can turn it to the side so you can have more of a look around while I'm walking. I kind of like how that looked better, I think. You know, through these trees here, there's a big body of water out there. Sometimes we can see geese coming in, making a landing. I don't think we'll see much geese at this point because we saw a formation of geese heading south. They took off. They're migrating for the winter down south. So, no turkeys today. They were all through these woods here the other day, cutting across into that driveway. So there's been a lot of talk about the media and how biased they are for Democrats. And I think Republicans should stop doing debates on network television. I think they should start streaming them on the internet, bypassing television altogether. There's a lot of streaming platforms that can handle millions of viewers. I think really that's what they ought to do. That'll remove all of this corporate bullshit, at least for a little while, until the corporations influence that, because you need sponsors. But I think I would love to see something live streamed. I don't care if it's Facebook, Instagram, and whatever, YouTube. Whatever it is, you just got to get rid of these networks, It's either that, or I would just prefer, I think at this point in this day and age with technology that we have, maybe debates maybe that's a thing of the past. Maybe we don't need those. Maybe we just need more town halls to see the candidates and have them talk and answer their questions. I don't understand why people have to debate each other. We're so polarized and divided right now, it really doesn't matter. Hate to say it, but I don't think it really matters a whole lot. I think town halls are more effective. Trump's really good at those. And, Kamala can do hers and her scripted, pre-rehearsed answers if she wants to, but independent voters are a lot smarter. They really are. They can really sense Kamala being fake. And they already know Trump's faults. That's the big thing right there. People already are familiar with Trump, okay? You're not going to get anything new. So every time they say, oh, he promises a bloodbath, independents know that that's bullshit, okay? I don't even know why Democrats are spending their time on that. Well, actually I do, because they don't have any policies, that are popular. Kamala did support something happened to their delivered package. It got run over by something, and the parts are on the side of the road. So that's not good. I'm not going to check the address on it. I just moved stuff out of the road. Hopefully nothing's ruined, but it probably is. But anyway, no llamas out today, no alpacas, I should say. More than likely they're alpacas. They got a cutout on the side of that barn. It looks, I can't tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca. I just can't. So anyway, we're going to continue on. Beautiful countryside here. We get some beehives out in the back there. A beekeeper. A lot of the farmers around here appreciate having bees. Very important job. If we didn't have bees, we'd all starve. You couldn't grow anything. It's kind of a big deal. As far as pollinating plants. So, and we have some bundles of wood here for $5. Put money in the tip jar if you need a bundle of wood. Oh man, this is so nice. This really is enjoyable. Nice sunshine, it's beautiful, fresh air. Nice view. Got their farm equipment out there. Quiet. Nice views. This here I got about 20 minutes of recording time left, which means I have a memory card that I didn't remove the data from yesterday. It's almost full. So I'll probably delete those when I change the battery shortly. I'm going to skirt off to the side and give them room to go by. No sidewalks out here. I think this is going to be the last of summer this week. The last of summer-like weather, I should say. Tomorrow is supposed to be 80. It's nice today. And then next week, I believe, I'm going to be around 70. It'll still be nice, but today's got more humidity. It feels more like summer. Don't want to get hit by the school bus. School days. Kids are going back to school. That means summer is over. We just hit 4 miles. This is usually a running brook right here, but it's dried up. There's no water. I usually change my battery up ahead here. I have a little spot off to the side I can step on and do my thing. Only got about 1.5 miles left to walk anyway. Definitely was a nice day to walk today. Scoot off to the side. So up ahead here, I'll change my battery. There's a trail through here. I don't know where it goes, but probably somebody's private property. And we do have no name pond over there. So probably at the end of this road. I don't know if this is a driveway. It says no trespassing. So, and there's a mailbox. So that answers my question. All right, I'm going to change my battery. I'll be right back. Hello everybody, I'm back. Changed my battery. They weren't so bad. That's a lot easier to do than having the camera on my head, I can tell you that much. And as we walk on some more and more. I'm not finding any chute cycling jugs today. I gotta remember to put the trash out tonight. Don't want to forget that. We're doing a little bit of remodeling in the gun room. There's a bunch of stuff getting tossed out. Mostly just old clothing and stuff like that. And it's clothing that's not good enough in condition to donate to charity or anything. So, one of those kind of things. Every day the leaves are turning a little more. You see a little bit more orange in that tree. Every day a little bit more and a little bit more. Got pumpkins on the porch, as well as a package from Amazon. Don't have a lot of porch pirating around here. Don't like porch pirates. We got the inflatable pumpkins. Inflate a pumpkin. Now, an interesting thing about the election coming this year is you have a lot of Democrats wishing and hoping so bad that Trump loses because they want to see an end to Trumpism. Well, we're not going to see an end to Trumpism. Trump could drop dead tomorrow and MAGA is still going to be here. It's an attitude. It's basically the Tea Party on steroids. We want to fix this country, and he will be considered the founding father of MAGA if he should pass away or something. So it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's here to stay. They don't seem to understand that we're not worshiping Trump. He's not a king, and it'll be this way long after he's gone. When he completes his presidency and he moves on, you know, MAGA is going to move on to whoever the next Republican candidate is that's smart enough to know that MAGA is important. They're not going to go back to their old ways. And I think in 2028, regardless if Trump wins or not, okay, we're going to see Vivek Ramaswamy trying to be elected. We're going to see Ron DeSantis. And personally, I think at that point, I would get behind Ron DeSantis. And I would love to see a Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy ticket. That's what I'd love to see. And I think I would love to see, you'll never see it, because the Democrats have screwed over RFK, but I think the best election would be Ron DeSantis against RFK, because I think America wins both ways. And that's why the Democrats are never going to allow it. They get too much money, too much corporate power. You know, they used to accuse the Republicans of being corporate, and yeah, that's the Democrats. The Democrat Party is owned. They're owned. So, want to take a nap on a hammock? I'm not sure lying in a hammock on the side of the road would be a thing I would enjoy, but hey, to each his own, right? So I will sign off at the end of this road. I still have another mile to go, or more. But I'm not going to bore you with all of that. See how nice it is today. Excuse me. Guy's got a little man-made pond behind his house. I'm not even sure if that's man-made. Got a lot of reeds and pussy willows around it. Anyways. Oh yeah, I'm warm today. Definitely not hot, but it's warm. Look at that, one of these trees starting to turn red. We're going to follow the season change on these walks. I'm going to be doing more walks through this route just because there's so many trees to look at. And they have their piles of cordwood out there for burning this winter. Renewable, recyclable. And put more carbon in the atmosphere. America! Yeah!
How you doing?
Hi. Okay. There's a person on a bike. They want to be ultra safe. They have a reflective jacket on a day today where it's warm. He's got his face covered up. I guess he's covered from monkeypox and bird flu, I guess. Doesn't want bugs hitting him in the face. Have no idea what that's all about. But people are strange. So I'm going to end this walk right now. I want to thank you very much for walking with me on a backcountry road. Hope you have an enjoyable week and weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, better known as Fry-yay. And can't wait to go shooting Saturday. It's going to be fun. So I will just end this video by saying thank you for walking with me today, and God bless you and your family, and God bless America, and let's get through this and hope we come out on top in November. So until then, everybody, bye bye. Thanks for walking with me. See ya.